And now we come to our third step, which is the landing position. I like to call it barbarian position. Again, going back to the pictures, kids will remember barbarian position more so than landing position. It's just a proven fact. For me, I've seen it over the 10 years. I've seen it with hundreds of kids. They remember barbarian position and the exact movements compared to the technical term. They just don't really recall that. It's too boring, to put it bluntly. So here, back to our landing. First technique, or first piece, is chin over back knee. Feet on line, number 2. Front side pointing at my target, 3. And finally, elbow above the shoulder. This goes for if you're straight over the top, 3/4, or even sidearm. What I'll tell kids that are sidearm is, if I'm throwing sidearm, I'm here when I go to throw. All I'm doing is tilting my torso. If I were to tilt my torso straight up and down, my elbow's still above my shoulder. So this is very important. A kid who drops his arm, or basically meaning elbow below the shoulder, he's whipping his arm, and this is causing a lot of stress on the elbow, which is not going to be good for his elbow in the long run, and is putting stress on the front side of that shoulder again. Okay? So to recap, your landing is made of 4 pieces. It's going to be chin over back knee. This makes my shoulders level to my target. My feet are on line directly to my target. My front side is on line directly to my target. And my elbow's up, elbow above the shoulder. And this is my landing position. Okay? Now, for those of you who like the pictures or the illustration, your barbarian position, and the younger kids will appreciate this and enjoy this. If I'm a barbarian, I'm not just going to run at you like this, because you're just going to stab me in my chest. Not a good day for me, right? However, I'm going to try to make myself small and come at you like this, right? Feet are on line. I'm also going to have my shield up. I'm not going to come at you like this, because then you just stab me in my chest again. It's not a good day for me, again. So I'm going to have my feet on line to make myself small. I'm going to have my shield up. I'm not going to lean out in front, because then you just cut the front side of my face off. Not so good for me. So I'm going to stay back. I'm going to lean into my fighting position. And finally, I'm going to have my sword up. I'm not going to have it down here to where if I attack, I cut my ear off. I'm going to have my arm up. Okay? So this is my fighting position, or my barbarian position. Shield up, sword up, staying back to protect my face, and I have my feet on line. And this is your landing position. So to recap, the first 3 steps is going to be balance point, chin over back knee. Separation, feet and hands go down and separate on time together. Then finally my landing, chin over back knee, feet on line, front side on line, and elbow up above the shoulder. And finally, we come to our 4th piece of our mechanic. This is the release point. Your release point is, you guessed it, the point where you let go of the baseball or release the baseball to your target. And here, we're just going to focus on, in this DVD, we're just going to focus on releasing the ball straight. So down the middle is our goal. We don't care if a guy hits it. We're just worried about throwing it right down the middle. In a few DVDs, we are going to focus on throwing the ball down to both sides of the plate and up in the zone to both sides of the plate. We'll work on that for setting hitters up, setting their eyes up and down, and moving them inside and outside corner. Okay, ultimately making us a better pitcher with just fastball. So here today, your release point in reality is going to be up here. You've probably seen pictures of a guy, a still photo of a major league guy letting go of the ball here. In practice, though, you are going to have one release point that I want you to focus on. And it's going to be way down here. So your feet are going to be on line, and you are going to reach way out front. And if you can see this, I want you to be able to look through your fingers, down your arm, and have your face and fingers lined up. And I call this the shotgun. Okay? I want you, if you were going to shoot a shotgun, some of you who may have shotguns with your parents or on video games, I know most of you play video games, right? If you have shot a gun before or even know the concept of shoot a gun, then this should be easy for you. you have to get your sights lined up to your target, okay? And we are actually going to use this technique in some of our throwing drills in future DVDs. But here, those of you who like the pictures, I want you to imagine here we have a house, and it's a creepy house. And in this house, down here, is a little basement window. What makes the house so creepy is there's no windows except for this one in the basement. And in that little basement, there's an old lady, okay? And then every time you throw a baseball, whether it's pitching, as a catcher, as a position player, whatever position you're playing, you should break that window every time you throw a baseball. What this does is make sure that you are getting through your throw, putting all the power that your body can generate and all the accuracy that you can possibly get to that target. And I'll tell young kids, because a lot of kids like to stand up and watch their pitch, okay? If you put me in that situation or that scenario with the house, if the window's down there and I stand up and throw, that ball's hitting off that house and hit me in the face. But if I get down here, looking through my fingers, I'm going to bust that window and I'm going to hit that old lady in the face. It's either her or me. And you have to ask yourself that question. Who's it going to be? You or her? Okay? Hopefully you make the right decision and get down through your throw. That's going to help you throw strikes, quality strikes to the bottom of the zone, and especially with your breaking pitches, they're going to have a lot of nasty movement.